So they feel like
Girl,
because
what?
they got a big dick and a big ass, they don't have to.
They don't have to have a substance to them.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot
How
of
the
niggas
fuck you
don't
want to
have
get through real
substance.
life with
Hi, welcome to Queer Millennials. It's your favorite Butch, Queen, Lex, with my co-host.
I'm James.
And with our two guests, John.
And I'm Sean.
So stay tuned, guys.
Alright guys, so as you know, on this show, we play this game called Retweet or Delete. So for those who don't know, we basically talk about certain tweets and we either agree, which is retweet, or we delete, which is we don't agree with it at all. So how y'all feel about that?
Okay, let's get into it.
So our first tweet comes from @StrawberryBoy, which he says, "Gay culture is pretending to be a friend just to get your back blowed out." Ooh, shit.
Delete.
That's a delete.
Because I can't delete it because you may not be wrong, but I don't think you completely right.
Me, I have to delete that because it's definitely given, oh, I'm gonna be friends with you, but I'm gonna test that boundary and push it.
Yeah, that's not too much. Like, that's also like, how you gonna try to form a connection with somebody, trying to sleep with them, and then masquerade that as we just friends, and then just wait for an opportunity to try to sleep with me? Like, that's out.
That's how most people build relationships.
Who does that?
I said most. I'm not saying I'm saying most people do. They would try to befriend you because they want to sleep with you potentially.
Not necessarily. Sometimes you just have that type of connection off the bat. Sometimes you meet somebody and you just feel like that energy. It may not be romantic or anything, but it's just
right.
I fuck with you. It's something like.
I can understand that, but I feel as though when those intentions are clearly defined and those boundaries are clearly defined as well, where it's like, this is what we are, I'm not gonna cross that.
I mean, it's different if you off the jump, y'all have a flirtatious relationship, right? There's one thing if it's like that, but if you're just oh, I'm just gonna pretend to be your friend, knowing good and well, I just want to fuck, that's out.
Yeah, it's kind of manipulative.
I mean, but you can have a hookup relationship with somebody, but as long as you set that up front, I don't like that game that kind of seems like it's over with friends, but I'm just looking to fuck, looking to wait for opportunity to make a move. That's weird to me. That's weird.
I've had that friend of mine who tried to have a threesome with me. Yeah, so and then came out and expressed his love out of nowhere, and it was never sexual, never any of that. We were platonic friends. We met as friends. We met through friends, and shit happens, and I'm just
oh no.
Wait.
Yeah, we are friends.
Wait,
I don't know.
Wait, what?
People literally are just no, we're just friends. And it's oh no, I found you attractive. And we'll really push that boundary.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't even push that boundary of just
that's why
y'all chilling and it's a hand on a knee or a certain grab where it's you would look
now
past
that's a whole
it.
nother story.
And the next tweet comes from Mariano_G36, and he tweeted, "Some people feel that because they have a larger than average penis, that they don't have to develop a personality, be talented, smart, or a good person. Well, I'll answer for them. They are obviously fucking right. The culture is 2020. Oh, that's gay culture 2020.
So they feel like
Girl,
because
what?
they got a big dick and a big ass,
Yeah.
they don't have to.
They don't have to have a substance to them.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot
How
of
the fuck
niggas
you
don't
want to
have
get through real life
substance.
with
Yeah.
Delete, I guess.
That's a delete.
That's a delete.
But I mean, it's rooted in truth though, because there are niggas who feel like because they got a fat ass or they have a big dick, they feel like they don't gotta have a personality because that's just what they got. But because sometimes they don't have to. Low key.
I completely just delete that because the fact that you feel that you have this disposition that's rooted in vanity. The fact like you feel like, oh, like this does not fade, like beauty does not fade. That just because you have a big dick you can walk through life with no twisted turns if anything go wrong.
It's gonna be a delete for me, but it's an understandable concept when you have a culture that kind of celebrates sexuality so strongly as the gay culture does. Unfortunately, I think that you're always going to have that kind of mindset where when you're really great at what people are looking for, you're going to be sought after.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it's a delete for me.
Depending on what you're looking for, you don't have to do a lot, especially if word gets out and girls are traveling and spilling the tea on whose dick is big and who got that and who got this.
Exactly.
Then it's like a lot of niggas don't have to put all this word out there because like they already know that they've been talked about. It's still a delete. Like it's still some bullshit. Like you still should have a personality, period.
Right.
Because like how long is that gonna last? All right, so this next tweet comes from Book of Helios, and it reads, being gay isn't rooted in black culture, it's rooted in gay culture. Don't let them subvert your community.
Delete.
that's a delete also.
That's a delete. Like,
That's a big delete.
Oh, I'm
That's
so
a
tired of
delete
this
and mute.
conversation.
That's
I'm
a delete
so
and
tired
mute.
of this conversation.
it's just like, I feel like niggas been talking about this for like at least 4 years on Twitter. Like,
So then where do black gay people get their culture from? Like, honestly, we don't get it from gay culture.
we got this again. Like, that's my thing. We got this
Black
again.
lives matter. What? All lives matter. This is that conversation. This
It's
is very moved.
It's intersectionality. It's the fact that you can't be black and not be gay. Like, come on. Like, we've been through this, sis.
Big
What
It's a
people
big
don't realize
delete.
is
It's a
that
delete
being
and
black
on
is going
YouTube.
to always oversee all of that. Like you can like take the things that come from the gay community and take how we're bullied for being who we are, but that doesn't change the fact that
Talk a little bit more.
the black community is still going to get it worse. The black part of it is always going to get it worse. I feel like people totally forget that you're black before you're anything else.
Do you think they forget? You said.
Most definitely. I think that there are a lot of situations where we forget that we can't just pay attention to what Nicki and Cardi are arguing about.
Right.
And we can't just pay attention to having, the next best shoe or any of those things. We have to pay attention to what's also affecting us too.
I don't know. I disagree. I think that there's a strong amount of black gay people that are like really involved in politics and like heavily involved and connected to the fact that like we do move out in the spaces like black, especially black men first, and then as black like trans women. Like I feel like that's very paramount, and maybe in the circles that I run with, that are also predominantly black circles. But I think there's still I think there's a lot. Like I think there's a lot of people. Maybe it's the ignorant part of like black Twitter that's also I feel like gets a lot of shine. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's easy for us to jump on ignorant tweets. The negative things are just so blaring. But I think it has to do with like respectability politics and things that aren't okay like as black people for us to do. And I feel like that conversation is always underlying a lot of the time.
Funny how we're having this conversation, especially realizing how our community itself can definitely be very closed-minded, especially on social media when it comes to certain topics. Especially, for example, we're going to use queer issues. Miss Boozy definitely ran her mouth about Zaya.
I gotta say something about this shit, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male. He might meet a woman, anything at 16 and fall in love with her. But his dick be gone. How you gonna... Like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, don't address him as a woman, dog. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decisions yet. Don't cut his fucking dick off, Dwayne Wade, bruh. You fucking tripping, dog.
Why are you worried? You know what I'm saying? Secondly, Google is free 99. We're sitting here y'all trying to come up with all these theories and stuff like that when you could clearly look up empirical information.
I never once saw Dwayne or Gabrielle once say that she was going under the knife.
Right.
So I feel like they penned out this narrative.
Well, it's also illegal. If you have this platform, right? Like Lil Boosie has this platform, and he went to say something where he felt like it was important enough to say. But no matter what, I'm from the school of like, you don't talk about nobody kids. You don't talk about nobody like kind of parenting. You don't tell nobody don't do X, Y, Z to their child. And then, of course, like as a queer person, I feel like it also hits home sensitively because I also think, to much of your point, like I never got the chance to be able to like claim my queerness as a kid, right? Like we never got that opportunity. For a lot of times, we're pushed upon to take an identity that we may not ascribe to. He had an opportunity to use that platform and say, like, shout out to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union for letting their child have a voice and talk about the person that they want to be eloquently at a young age. I think that's a very beautiful thing. He had an opportunity to be like, you know what, shout out to y'all for continuing to give your child a voice and like let them lead the life that they would like to lead for themselves. Because ultimately we know our best when we're children because we don't know who else to be.
But my thing is, at the end of the day, like, she's 12. I think they understand the fact that she is 12 years old and she is able to express. And I feel like a lot of people do not give kids voices. They always take that away from them. When she expressed that, I don't see myself as a man, I don't see myself as a boy, this is not me, that I want to be she and I want to take the proper steps. So I would think that as responsible adults and parents, as they have been for their children, they will take her through the psychological analysis and to see if she's capable for her to express these different things.
It's really unfortunate that we're in a community that fights so hard to protect what is normal to them. Like, there's so much ignorance when it comes to being transgender and understanding the gay lifestyle and understanding a lot of facets to the gay community and the LGBTQIA community in general. And I think that it's bothersome because we don't have to be like this. To think that we're a community that so fiercely fights for the basic rights of still just being us as black people. You would think that there would be some form of understanding of the intersectionality of, we're fighting to be respected as gay, you're fighting to be respected as black. You would think that there's some type of understanding there, and there's not, and it's unfortunate. But I think that when it comes to comments from the likes of, Young Thug and Boosie, I think that we have to kind of understand that this goes back to what we were saying about fan bases. It's your fan base. It's who you're feeding and who feeds you. The people who Boosie is feeding feed him that ignorance too. They're looking for him. They're looking for the Young Thugs to say things like, whatever Zaya is doing, he's still a boy. And they're looking for the celebrities to speak out and say the things that they're afraid to say. And it's unfortunate.
Well, that will be the end of our show. I would like to definitely thank our guests, Sean and John, for coming on. We talked about a lot of the tweets that are coming through on gay Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube at Queer Millennial, Instagram at Queer Millennial as well, and Twitter at QueerM. Once again, I'm James.
I'm Lex.
I'm John.
And I'm Sean.
And this has been Queer Millennials, the Key. Peace.